What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of our RB Leipzig career here on FIFA 21. And today we are going to do a variety of different things. We are going to take a look at how we are going to set the squad up, as you can see, and then we're going to do some transfers. And then we are going to go ahead and also try out the new simming mechanism and hopefully have a little bit of fun with that. So going forward, once we really get into the role of everything and I'm off EA Access, we'll be doing 3 games an episode plus one of the sim games, so 4 games an episode. And hopefully you guys are up for that. But let's go forward for now. We've added a couple players to our transfer list. We need a couple things to go in, and we're also going to buy up Alexander Sorloth, who has shown up in real life. But we are going to go ahead and bring him into the club. We had to do it at Wolves with Semedo, though I don't expect him to cost as much. But he was on loan from Crystal Palace, so I'm not so sure we'll be able to actually do it. We can actually try it right now. But I don't think we'll be able to, though I guess Sorloth is just not on here, which is great. We'll have to go ahead and search, but hopefully we can come across it. But as I said, I believe he's on loan from Palace, so I don't think we're going to be able to buy him. It's going to be kind of annoying, but next year we'll bring him in anyway, so it's not a crazy loss or anything like that. Someone we will bring into the club when we can. Here's Sorloth. He's currently out on loan and therefore will not be able to, at this time, move. That's a bit of a shame, but we'll figure it out going forward. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the squad really quick. Last episode, we're going to go ahead and quick sim this one. Last episode, we were talking about how we wanted to kind of move off of the 2-striker formation and kind of add another player to that midfield. It was a little bit thin, and we had our fullbacks pushing forward, but it wasn't working out exactly how I would like with the 4-2-2-2. So we've changed it. Now we have 1 striker, but I couldn't find a way to get these players here, Poulsen, Dani Olmo. I couldn't find a way to get 2 cams with the 1 striker without this formation, and now this is 2 center forwards. So what we're going to have to do going forward is train a couple players to play center forward, or we've also taken a look at, if we go to our transfer hub, bringing in a couple players, or a player or 2 who can play cam or center forward or striker, and then move into that wide center forward kind of spot. And there are players who would do good there. Draxler, who's a left winger, or a cam, can kind of play in that gap over there on the left. Harit, the same. Vlasic, probably the same as well. So there are players we can look to bring in who can really fit there. There are a couple players who would be, actual, I think, genuine options in real life. Vlasic, Harit. There are players who I think would fit. Draxler is not really playing a ton over in Paris. Can come here and be a star kind of thing. Odegaard's probably a bit of a stretch at this point because they seem interested in keeping him around, but someone who can play on the right side of the center forward spot. Oscar is just one of those players I like. He's on there. Fekir as well, who can play all of those positions. Cam on the right and striker. So he'd be a good option. Someone at Betis who's itching to get away from what we can tell. Another bad year at Betis, and we might be able to move him on. Unfortunately, that is a ton of money. I'm not really looking to spend all on one player. Odegaard, another option, as you can see, tons of money. Draxler would be a good option. Vlasic as well. I'm waiting for this back on Correa. A really good player, but it's one of those ones where also you feel it might be a bit of a stretch. Paris have contacted him already. An offer has come in for Lookman, who we are going to loan out, though I kind of want it to be a 1-year loan instead of 2 years. He's out on loan in real life at Fulham. I kind of want him to come back, so we'll have to end up seeing what happens there. But we have a little bit of money, and we might bring in a player or 2. Someone who can play midfield as well. We'll see. We get the win there, and we go through our We go through our group there relatively easily. 3 wins from 3. Not sure what the other group was. I didn't catch a look, but I saw Arsenal on there. And we are going to get Benfica in the semifinal. That is something we should move through. And we may do the sim thing on the final, as a little bit of money comes our way. But yes, so I'm looking to bring in one to play in midfield, one to play center forward. It's going to be tough, but, you know, it's one of those things. We've got the scout reports now for these players. So there are some players who could be sitting back and some players who could be moving forward. If we look at the squad as well, we are jam-packed with, you know, really good players who can play all over the place. And at the moment, in midfield, it's fine. It's one of those things. It's one of those things. I would like a striker, though Sorloth was the option. He's just not be able to bring him in. We can't bring him in, unfortunately. And in midfield, we're good. So if we can bring in a center forward and a striker, we're good at left back, we're good at right back, we're good at center back. Another center back could be an option, but he's pretty good there at center back. He can play there as well. So we're good there. So I think center forward and striker are the 2 options that we're looking for. As a couple things have come in here. Correa, who can play up front as well. It's one of those things. One of those things. I'm not sure where we want to go. I'm not sure where we want to go. We're going to have to take a quick look at strikers also. Just add a couple to the list. But for now, let's jump into this game. We are going to sim it. But we have to take a couple, as we said, a couple looks at strikers there as well. A striker, a center forward, really good options. As we were beaten by Benfica, that's kind of disappointing. They had 2 shots to our 6. That's not ideal. Beaten there, so I guess we're not going to sim through the final. That is actually incredibly disappointing. So I guess we're not going to be doing that sim. But next episode we'll play a game, we'll play 2 games and do a sim, I think. So next episode, yeah, we'll play 2 games and do a sim, and we'll go about it that way. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get the sim in here. I did not expect the game to have us lose to Benfica there. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, Benfica are a good side. I just didn't expect it the way these things work out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go forward a little bit. And I will join back as soon as we find some strikers. Alright, everybody. We are back. And we have got a couple of strikers to look at as well. So, we're looking at center forwards. And we're looking at midfielders to play center forward, and we are looking at strikers. And these are the strikers we've added to the list, though Milik has moved to Bayern, and he's not going anywhere, so we're just going to remove him. But as you saw, Maxi Gomez, Alexander Isaac, and then Edouard as well would be a really good option. Still only 22, still only 20 for Isaac, and still only 23 for Gomez. Though they probably want a little bit more than I'm willing to spend. I think this would be a good option. Edouard, still only 22, has a really good, area to grow into. And I'm not sure where else I want to go, though Oscar has moved to Manchester United, so that's kind of not great. And Correa's also moved. So there are a couple players moving around as we try and, maneuver our way forward. In terms of, finding a really good spot to be in. So, where do we want to go? I think what we want to do is we're going to go for Edouard. And then we are going to try, or we're going to see how much money we have left over. But I think Fekir's a little bit far out of the question. And then, of course, where do we go here? I kind of want a little bit of pace. I mean, that's a pretty good option. Draxler's not the quickest, but it is what it is. So let's jump into this first. We're going to approach to Edouard. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, would Draxler be a good option? And then to bring in a really good striker like Gomez? 20 million to 30, 50. It cost us almost 70 million to get both. Vlasic never goes anywhere. It's such a pain to get him. Harit's a little bit slow for my liking in that spot. It's tough. It's tough to get to think about where both options should be. especially considering how this goes. We're going to go for Edouard. We're going to go for Edouard. Hwang Hee-chan's a really good option, so using him for a while is definitely no problem. And Edouard, he's got, you know, he's got space to grow into. So hopefully we can do something there. So we are going to offer a transfer fee. He's currently at 11. These are loose transfers on this one. We did very strict, or we did strict on the Wolves one. We're loose on this one, up to 13%. We're going to counter and remove the sell-on, I think, and just go for 13.3 million. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good option there. Let's negotiate, see if we can bring the striker in from Celtic. Celtic, of course, plenty of players looking to possibly be moved out after they missed out on the Champions League. They're comfortable with rotation. 5-year contract would be ideal. He's comfortable with it. The young players like the long-term deals. We'll accept the lack of a release clause, and then wage budget. They only want 28,000. We're going to counter it a little bit. Just remove the bonus. Let's see what we can do here. He's comfortable with it. £28,000 a week, and we have bought in a new striker, Edouard. I've thought about using Jean-Augustin, and I'm going to use him, I think. The issue with Jean-Augustin in real life is that he may be forced to move to Leeds. They didn't look like they wanted to keep hold of him. It's a very strange situation there. But we're going to bring Edouard onto the bench ahead of this will cover, probably ahead of Orban, which is a little bit harsh, but we have center back, right back, and left back cover with these two players, so that's probably all right. Orban, of course, the captain, I think, but we don't want anything, we want those best players in there at the moment in terms of in-game. So let's talk about money. We have 42 million left, but I think we might be able to get that into a better spot, and because we got them on such low wages as well. 47-ish million. I don't believe there are players we're looking to move on. Leipzig are upset about Jean-Augustin not being forcibly taken, so I think we're going to move Jean-Augustin on. The more I think about it, the more that's probably the best option. We'll add him to the transfer list. Anyone else? These are our strikers here. He's out on loan. And in midfield, we are jam-packed. And then at the back, I think we're in a good spot as well. So I don't think we're going to move anyone else out just yet. Maybe next year, we'll see. But we're in a pretty good spot. Galassi, I've actually physically seen Galassi before. He didn't play, unfortunately. I went to a Liverpool preseason game, but he did not play. Brad Jones and Pepe Reina, I believe, were the other two. But it is what it is. But we've bought Edouard in relatively cheap, £13 million. Maybe we'll get an option here or something in terms of a bid as an offer comes in for Poulsen, who will not be going anywhere. But we want to go ahead and get extra funds in before I move on, because I'm thinking about Fekir. I think Fekir would be pretty good option. I think that's semi-realistic too. I don't think that's wildly out of touch, as an offer has come in for Augustin. What is this? What is this? A joke? Augustin's market value should be between 4 and 6. This lad up front, no. We'll reject that. They want to give us a striker. I'm kind of looking for that really good midfielder. We're trying to kind of bring him in, so I'm not really looking for that. If we can get a real bid in for Augustin, we'll move him on. We also have to take a look and see what that means in terms of, something else. But they've offered someone else as well. Giallo, center back. No. We're going to reject that. As I said, we're kind of looking to get the money in, which is a little bit of a shame that we keep getting other things. But let's go to the office really quick. Not the office. The transfer hub. and see what we can look at here. Odegaard's too expensive. Fekir between 46 and 63. We're right on the cusp of that. So it probably won't happen. Then Odegaard. It's tough. We're in a pretty tough spot. We might have to move for Draxler instead. Or we may try for Fekir. We're going to try for him. I'm just going to try for him. He's on 34k a week at Betis. Yeah, we're going to go for it. Let's go for Fekir here. That's very cheap money there. Offer a transfer fee. Just going to offer 45. I'm just going to start it up there. Add a sell-on clause. 5%. See what they say. What is this? Oh, jeez, bloody bug here. They want Sabitzer, which is counter. Remove exchange player. Propose new transfer fee. 45. That's all I want. 45 is what we're offering. They want 59. See, we're gonna struggle to reach that, which is a bit of a shame right now, but we're gonna go forward. I'll be back. We'll see if we can raise some extra funds. Work it in that way. Alright guys, we're back. We've got an offer here for 5.6. A couple of offers have come in for Augustin, and nothing really has wowed me necessarily. So I'm just kind of going. They're a bit worried the club isn't meeting their demands. This doesn't feel like the team that's motivated to win anything this season. We were hoping you'd be able to let us know. Very strange. We haven't done anything to start here. So, I mean, I'm not sure what it is. But we've got our first game coming up here. And I think I am going to run through the sim here because we really want to try and, you know, go one more time for Fekir or another player in general. We'd like to bring that player in. So what we're going to do is we're going to sim this one, and we'll get ourselves a quick sim going in. Or not a quick sim, but like, you know, one of the sims, a quick game going in here. But this is something we want to win, a game we should be winning, and then next episode we'll kind of jump into, you know, playing our games as well. But I really want to get another transfer across the line. We're right on the verge of being able to bring Fekir in, I think, but we'll see. So let's jump into this, and hopefully we can do something here. We are in blue. This is a game we should theoretically win. They're coming forward here. Nicely done. Decent movement so far. Got plenty of men up front, and it's played wide. Brilliant. And what a start there. 1-0, and it's Sabitzer. I don't need to jump in. He's grabbed the goal. Excellently done. It's a great start. And there's really good football down the wing there as well. We may not need to jump into this sim. We might have it under complete control going forward, but I want to jump in on some of these chances if anything crazy opens up. But the football's pretty good here. There's plenty of space out wide. Didn't get found. Still on it here. Can we play one more? We can. This is lovely football. Again, it's 2-0. And we are cruising right now as Klosterman grabs goal number 2. And we are cruising 2-0 after 15 minutes. It's lovely stuff. We're going to want to jump in now in a couple of opportunities. And hopefully we can grab it there. By the way, I've changed the shirt. I noticed about halfway through there I was still wearing the Wolves shirt from our other career. If you haven't already, go check that out. We are playing 2 careers at the same time here as they come forward, Stuttgart. As they look for something. Got a couple touches on it. Not enough, though. It's good football from them. And they're doing well, and they're trying to get a shot off. It doesn't come in the end, and they really ought to be getting a shot off there. I'm going to jump in here. Let's jump in on this situation. We've got a couple men forward up the pitch. We're on it out wide. It comes out to Klosterman. And Klosterman here. Can he slip it across? Not quite. And we'll try the corner as well. Didn't get as much support as we would have liked in the end. As the header comes down, poorly cleared. It's going to come out to Kanate. Sabitzer. And then he loses it. And we lose out. Sim rest of match. Jump to result. It scares me when it says sim rest of match. But the forward they go. But not too bad. Actually, we did much, much worse after I showed up. But they're on the move here, Stuttgart. But we do well to nick it away. And look how high our three are up the pitch. And that's problematic in a way. But we'll see how it plays in-game, of course. As he's come through the middle here. And I've got a shot. I jumped in a little bit late. And he'd already shot it. That's funny. He had already shot it. It's 3-0. Limer with the goal. Not ideal in terms of we kind of wanted to jump in there. It didn't really work out. We'll have to work on jumping in, but we are by far and away the better team here. And Stuttgart are the team who have offered up for Augustin. As they get played through here, and Galashi does well to come out. Nice header on, and he's going to be through on goal here. So here's one of those options. And it's Poulsen. And he's going to be through on goal here, assuming he doesn't get pulled back. And he does well to kind of just break away here. And it's Poulsen, slips it out wide. It's Sabitzer, it's his second. I do... It's a little bit weird jumping in midway, but we grabbed it. I'm not particularly into these blue jerseys, but it is what it is. And he gets skipped through, and it's Poulsen in. He could finish it himself, lays it off. Sabitzer with it. Not too bad, but we're right before halftime we grabbed that. And we did well. And what we really ought to be doing is jump to result because we were cruising. It ends 4-0 in the end. Very, very good result. Good play. And I really want to get this Jean-Augustin thing going because I really want to try and bring Fekir in one more time. If we can get the extra 4 or 5 million pounds and then get that wage in as well, that's not a bad spot. As Tottenham have bid for Upamecano, and that's going to be tough to keep him around the entire save, but he's one of our better players. He's going to grow into a really good center back. He signed a new contract in real life. It's one of those things we just got to keep a hold of. So let's see if this Jean-Augustin thing gets set. Augustin sale agreement, 6.3 million. See, that's the highest we've gotten so far, and we are going to accept that, and hopefully he moves on to Stuttgart. 17 million would have been nice, like Leeds were offering to pay, but I can't imagine what's happened to his value after that poor stint at Leeds. But it is what it is. Offers come in for our interest in Draxler. Napoli have bid. Offer comes in for Orban, which we are not going to take. I really, really want this to happen before the game on Saturday. Because we get a couple of rest days here. And there it is. Augustin has been sold. So, get a little bit of extra money now. 5 million added to the budget. So that should bring it up to 52-ish million. They may ask for more because we've bid on 55 with 174k in budget. So we are in wage, so we might be able to move it off. If we can get that up to 59 if Fekir would be comfortable enough not taking, you know, a gigantic pay raise. We're going to see. We're going to see. Hopefully we can bring in Fekir here and grab ourselves an excellent player before the new season starts. Offer transfer fee. We're going to offer 48 just to start. Again with Sabitzer. Sabitzer will not be going anywhere. Remove exchange player. Propose new transfer fee. We'll just go to 50. Why not? Just at 50 million pounds. Oh, they're comfortable with 50. I didn't expect that. Negotiate. We are going to be able to bring Fekir in, no matter what his wage demands are now. Very unexpected, but excellent, excellent, excellent stuff nonetheless. So we're going to try and do important, though, yeah, he'll want crucial. It's one of those things. That's okay. 5 years. Can we keep him here? He's 27 at the moment. He's comfortable with it. No release clause. We'll accept that. And then he only wants £46,000 a week. I'm going to jump on that. I am going to jump on that. So we've bought in those 2 players, and we are going to be able to start next episode with an excellent player. What we're going to have to do is, let's go down to Fekir. What I'm going to do is, one, bring him onto the bench ahead of Haidara, and then Fekir ahead of Poulsen. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have to, number 1, change a couple of the tactics around. I don't want to press, just want a bit of balanced. I kind of want it high up the pitch, that's fine. And then I want to play fast build up, pretty thin, play a lot of players in the box, and then on rolls or instructions, I want these fullbacks up and down the pitch. So, I want them to join the attack, and then inverted, we're going to overlap. Okay, so we're going to join the attack and overlap, and we'll do it on this side as well. And then, why do I keep doing that? Overlap. We want both of them to overlap, which is good. And then we're going to have to go to Fekir and train him to play center forward. He has it on his thing there, where he can play cam, striker, and right wing. It should not take an incredibly long time to get Fekir in a spot where he can play center forward. It should not be an issue. So here we are. So development plan, and then we'll train. He is 27 though, which it could mess with it a little bit. But let's go to center forward here. Center forward. It says ETA 2 weeks. Oh, see, Shadow Striker would be good. Oh, only 6 weeks. That'd be excellent. But I kind of want him in and around the goals as well. So this is probably a good option. Shadow Striker. Or balanced. Doesn't matter. He's 27. He's not going to grow a ton. But Advanced Playmaker looks pretty good. We're going to go with Shadow Striker, though. I want to do him on Shadow Striker. It looks like his estimated time for Shadow Striker, 6 weeks. That's not too bad. We just got to remember to come back and do it. But we've done well there. We have done well. I think we've bought in 2 really good players. Players who are going to... I mean, Fekir's a really good player now. Edouard's going to grow into a really good player. And hopefully, guys, we have got something going very nicely. So next episode, what we're going to do is, because we are still on EA Access and we're not going to be playing 3 games an episode, I think we're just going to be playing 2 games. We're going to play the Schalke game, the Leverkusen game, and we won't start doing the sim thing until we get to a point where we are no longer on EA Access. But as you can see, our Champions League group, Liga Warsaw, Shakhtar, and Real Madrid. So that is no walk in the park. In real life, they didn't have a walk in the park as well. But Başakşehir, United, and PSG. So that's no walk in the park. But hopefully we can get out of that group, guys. But that is going to be it. I hope you folks, of course, have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. And peace.